Sports fans love to fight with one another, debating which players or teams or even eras are better than others. While this is usually pretty inconclusive because bias is always a factor, it is still one of the most prevalent things in sports. Two of the most divisive players that I often see fans argue over are Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert. With the result of last season, I figure this would be the best time for me to talk about it, since the debate seems to have tipped in Hurts' favor. After all, he not only reached the Super Bowl twice in the past 3 years, but this year actually won it, while Herbert once again lost in the wildcard round. In the 4 years that they have both been in the NFL, they have only played each other once back in 2021 when the Chargers beat the Eagles at Lincoln Financial. One game is way too small of a sample size for me to use to make my decision, so this is more of an interesting detail than anything else. This year they are slated for a rematch, and I will certainly come back to this video after that game and see if any of my thoughts have changed. So, if you asked me to build a team around one of these guys, who would I choose? Well, I'd pick Herbert.
Not that I'm pole jocking or nothing.
And that job's clearly been filled by Harbaugh.
Justin Herbert walks up on you, like...
I just think Herbert's the better quarterback. In 2023, Hurts had his best passing season where he threw for 3,800 yards. In Herbert's best passing season, he threw for 5,000 yards. And I know it's not really fair to compare their passing stats because Herbert was asked to do so much more than Hurts, but then isn't it also unfair to compare team performances when comparing individual players? Winning championships is very important. I don't want you to get the wrong impression that I'm trying to undermine that achievement. If their careers ended last season, then I would rather have Hurts' career than Herbert's. But winning championships is not exclusively what determines who is a better individual player at their position. If that were the case, then you would have to say that Eli Manning is a better quarterback than Drew Brees, which is a ridiculous statement. I often hear the hypothetical, if Herbert were on the Eagles and Hurts were on the Chargers, the Eagles would be a dynasty and the Chargers would be bottom 5 in the league. People often point to Stafford and Goff's trade and say that this is proof of that statement. But there are way too many factors that went into how those teams have ended up for us to truly know if that would be the case. In conclusion, each side makes some valid arguments to support their case. And I'm not someone who thinks Hurts is a bad quarterback. I think he's a very good quarterback who fits extremely well into the Eagles team. But the arguments for Hurts being the better quarterback seem to fall off a cliff after his playoff success. And since they're both still young, Herbert has a lot of time to win in the playoffs. This question will probably continue long after they have both retired and be fought over by biased fans who think that their own crap doesn't stink. And to any upset Philly fans, since I know you guys are known for being very understanding, don't take this too seriously. A majority of my YouTube videos are about Lego Star Wars, okay? I'm not an NFL GM, okay? This is just my opinion.
Enough body parts for everybody. Wunderbar.